Greetings and welcome. This is PsychicMediumRoberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. We are guided and blessed by Spirit. Trigger warning, the subject matter is of a mature nature, and there will be segments of true crime events, and particularly against children as well, unfortunately. Disclaimer, all cases, names, people are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. Welcome to Intuitive Sundays, episode 21. And I thought because in a lot of the crime shows, unfortunately, we do find the number 21-3, which is actually present in Karen Reed's case. And we'll be looking at that during the course of the episode as well. But just to say, and of course, I've just been reminded, 21-3 was also brought up during the Joslin case as well, if I remember correctly. We had a enthusiastic community member pointing out that it's impossible for a 5-year-old to be abducted. She must have gone on her own free will. But be that as it may, 21-3 is an abduction number. It is taken against your will. Now, I want to just discuss 21-3 in a positive aspect, because I don't get the opportunity in many cases to speak about the positive aspects of 21-3. So on surface value, we can say it is the opposite of 12-3. Now, both have the outcome 3. In this case, I'm going to use community as an example, right? So 3 can speak about communities, different communities. We've seen in these hit and runs that happened at the end of last year in Europe, there was the presence of both 21-3 and 12-3. And this is because we obviously have a community that is feeling... I almost want to use the word apartheid in South Africa, segregation in the US back in the day. Any community that feels imposed upon, restricted, in particularly with their human rights, is very significant. So what we have in the positive aspects of 21-3 is, in both cases, 3 speaks about a community outcome. Now, 21-3, because there is a reduction from a 2 to a 1, gives us still the 3, means we start with a wider community, and for whatever reasons, it is reduced down to a 1, and we have the 3. But it still remains a positive aspect in that 2 is about engagement, so we can say maybe the 2 communities went separate ways. So, for example, that would apply to 2 parties here in South Africa, where we had, for example, the ANC, and then the ANC, a good portion of the ANC, which is the ruling party at the moment, which is, one can say, in a handshake deal with the DA, Democratic Alliance. But a breakaway, if you want to call it that, the MK party. So here's an example where the ANC still has its party, the 3, but there's been a reduction in the size of that community. And one can say within the community as well as within the party, but we still, so in other words, ANC still exists today. We still have a community 3. The MK side, they still have their community, but it's not as big as the ANC. So that is, for example, looking at it in a positive aspect, one can say because the numbers are a 2 and a 1 and a 3, technically in a positive aspect, not enough negative numbers to warrant, for example, in order for MK to become a party, there wasn't bloodshed. We can debate about the sabotages and the looting that happened a few years ago. All right. Now, in today's episode, I'm also going to include the passing of Michelle Trachtenberg. Beg your pardon if I get the pronunciation wrong. Of course, when a Hollywoodling perishes on the hills, now known as the burnt hills of the Vampiri, we find ourselves with very interesting numbers around her passing, very suspicious. And just the latest information, Karen Reed, I see the trial date has changed, so I'm just going to have a look at that. This past week, obviously there's been jury selection, and this is obviously round 2 that Karen and her team need to endure. And of course, we mustn't forget her loving partner, John, who unfortunately passed through this event. But we'll look at the new start of the new court date. We'll have a look at the new court date and just see what we can get out of that. And then the all-female Blue Origin astronauts that went up on April the 14th. I mean, you know, I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to launches. I love watching a launch, particularly SpaceX, obviously, but just for the purpose of marvel, engineering marvel, right? But then within a few hours and a day or two after the Blue Origin launched, I started seeing all of these memes and what's about the flight, so we'll have a look at that as well. So let's start with Joselyn Smith. The court case is currently ongoing in South Africa. And, you know, it's not about how many views a video gets. My personal opinion, and it stems from my broadcast TV days. I mean, at one point we were doing 5 live shows a week for 8 years. And of course, it's content driven, what is topical, what is important. But my philosophy around the videos on my channel is coming from TV land, and that is, I only need the right person to watch the video, then I am content. The fact that thousands of people are watching the videos, I'm grateful, I'm humble. People care, people want to get some additional information. But my hope and my intention for each video is that each video must reach the right person that can, I don't know, perhaps action something, know something, do something that can continue giving forward, in that we can solve cases, find people, and so on. So interesting, these numbers for the start of the trial, March 19, 2025, right, is very interesting in that the day Joslin went missing, we had a 1910-1 at the start of the day as well. We have the hidden 22-4, which came out as a vessel. Now, let's look at, I'm going to look at these numbers first from the actual court perspective, and then I'm going to go deeper into the numbers to see if we can find out any more truths. The fact that the court starts with a 1910-1, that is a transactional number, a life for money, if you want to look at it that way. And the reason why I say life for money is because there's a 19, that 9, that is someone is going to be impacted by that. Not a object's going to be impacted, someone. And we have 22-4. Okay, from a court perspective, 22-4 is evidence. And because it's hidden, we can argue there's hidden evidence. Of course, at the start of a trial, we don't know what that evidence is going to be, right? But look what happens. The outcome of that day, we have that 22-4. The evidence is going to come out. And unfortunately, we do see this 31-4 here. Now, from a legal point of view, a court point of view, and I must just say, and I will just also disclose, during this bit of reading, let's verify, but I'm not liking the numbers around this situation. It's hinting towards government involvement at some level. And based on the 28-10-1, it's a higher up level, unfortunately. The problem we have here from a court proceedings point of view with a 31-4, someone has manipulated evidence here. This speaks about evidence manipulation. So why, I'll speak freely, why would there be evidence manipulation in a case gone wrong? In other words, a child who was 5 years old at the time has gone missing. And by the way, not by free will either. Why would there be evidence manipulation here? So here's the reason why. So when I was putting the numbers down, obviously some numbers were ping-ponging on me here. So look what we have here in the position where the 31-4 is, right? We have these Don motherfuckers here, 40 outcome 4. 40 outcome 4 is your gangs, bosses, your higher ups, your big guys, the gangs. Whoever is the head of the operation is here. 40 outcome 4. The scary part is also linked to 37-10-1. 37-10-1 are higher ups. All right. So evidence manipulation could be as a result of there are higher ups involved in this case that we don't know about. For example, port authorities. Who is managing the trafficking? I mean, it's in every country, right? The traffickers and the gangs and the bigger bosses, 40 outcome 4 motherfuckers, can't maneuver 100% freely without a payola going here, there, everywhere, right? And in certain instances, especially when you're dealing with ports of entry, those are government-controlled gates. And the numbers are there to prove it. +6, we see a 28-10-1. We see a 37-10-1. We see the 19-10-1 associated with those numbers as well, in the +6. Unfortunately, Joslin was trafficked. So why would there be evidence manipulation, evidence tampering? So when we look at the +3, you see the +3 starts with a 22-4. Now one can argue, okay, so from an evidence point of view, that is evidence. So the intention is we're going to present the evidence 22-4. Here's more confirmation of problems with 7s involved. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that when we have conflict, because we have a conflict here of a 7, why is the 7, which, I mean, let's go on a very basic level. 7 is the all good number, right? But it also represents the officials. It represents court leaders, gates, people of authority. So why am I worried about this? Okay. There's a 2 and a 5 gives us the 7. The 5 is the problem. The 5 is human. Again, we have the word human interference, human manipulation, if you want to say it. So why is there a conflict with officials? It's in the intention. It's not the action between people. So in the intention, it's revealing that there are problems here. And with the 16-7 outcome here, something's off here as well about this. There's a cover-up here. Let me see if I can find more evidence of a cover-up. So when we've got 34-7, judicial process, one can say, there's conflict here, there's a conflict here. There's a conflict of interest, one could even say. So here we go. Look what happens in the +6 action now, right? We've got a 2-5-7. What communication 28-10-1, and this is not communication between you and I. When you have 28-10-1, this is like government level communication. So one can say, okay, so the action of the court cases, we have an issue here, 25-7, we caught ourselves with our pants down. 28-10-1, we didn't realize, and this is what I keep getting, right, over the time that I've been doing this case. If there was not a media storm about Joslin, because one can argue, how often does a child missing in South Africa go viral? God bless, however you want to look at it. Joslin, the minute she went missing, the universe shouted out. And unfortunately, I feel that may have determined her outcome, in that 20 of the kids in the container, as an example, one of them has caused a situation. Now, we don't want to be focused on because of one kid, right? Unfortunately. Motherfuckers. So the court case actually starts with an issue, 25-7. The court, now, when we're looking at the +6, it means what is actually going to transpire during the case, right? What is the action? So it starts with a negative, in a sense that there's a conflict of law here, because 7 is about justice. So what justice is actually going to be served at the end of this case? With this 28-10-1 year, I'm getting a feeling that they're going to use this case, they, higher-ups, sending a message. You know, what just crossed my mind now, everything has to be tested, alleged, investigated, proven in the physical, in the real. But is the situation so bad that the higher-ups now are using the court case to deter them criminals, their fellow criminals? Why would they use a court case? Can't they just go down there, guys, come, let's stop, please, do whatever, pack up, you can't do this anymore, or arrest the motherfuckers, right? That they use a court case now to send a message. Is it that bad? Is the rot that bad? And here it is here. All of them are involved in trafficking money, motherfuckers. Of children, 13-4, children. There's always the saying, a country or a nation, or or let's put it this way, you can always tell of a nation the way they treat their children and their elderly. Based on my probably a little bit outdated research that I recall, if I'm not mistaken, it could be less, but every 3 to 5 minutes a kid goes missing in South Africa. And there's been very, very, very few that have made it in the current context viral. Based on the +6, what I'm seeing here, the fact that Jocelyn's case went viral, I'm not talking about my video, I'm talking about the case. Everyone knows about the case, right? I mean, I only did the video 7 months after, or I don't know, 6 months after the situation. It was already blown up by then. This 31.4 in the +9. So the +9 starts with 28.10.1. Eh? So we're all going to send a message to the public. Don't worry. We've caught the criminals. There the 3 are or 4 are sitting behind the stupid table in some community hall. But look here, this 31.4 suggests there are skeletons in the closet regarding children, 13.4. This has been going on for a long time. And Jocelyn's case has brought light to this, and the powers that be are now using this as a PR tool to say, hey, don't worry. We know there's big gangs and trafficking in Cape Town, Western Cape, Saldanha. We know it's under control. Don't worry. Look, we've got a court case, 1 in a million. The other 999,000 were shipped away yesterday already to the Netherlands, to Nigeria, all over the world, right? Don't worry, it's all under control. Jocelyn's case came to trial. Woohoo! That's going to solve all the 999,000 missing children cases. Motherfuckers. So, unfortunately, in some way, the court case, although there will be an outcome, of course, as directed by the 37.10.1s and the 28.10.1s, the true justice is not going to be reached because them motherfuckers are hiding behind their suits and ties and guns and warfare and all sorts of shit. These are war numbers here, 40, outcome 4, 22.4, 13.4. This is military. This is military numbers here. That's why it's bothering me. There's military numbers here. Happy to be proven wrong. So we've got government higher up numbers, and we've got military numbers. And we've got conflicts with justice here. The justice itself is in conflict. So those that are exercising justice should be judged themselves. Motherfuckers. Yes, even in South Africa, unfortunately, there's a very famous case of the Van Rooyen kids that all were, well, six that we know about, or 7, because there was a girl, Rosa, who went missing on the East Rand, but was deemed not part of the Van Rooyen, but very strange, same age, same MO, the whole works, right? But those are the only 6 or 7 that we know about. There's still 300 or 3,000 children that were exported out of South Africa during the 60s, 70s, 80s by the military. by the military. You know, we haven't used our cargo planes for a long time. Oh, I got an idea. Let's ship children from South Africa to around the world. We need money for our army. Motherfuckers. All right. Let me tone down a little bit. I might just put a bit of music in between. Michelle, born October 11, 1985. Interesting numbers. We'll go into her numbers, interesting numbers herself. My initial sense when I first, and I'm getting it again, she's very strong, by the way. Strong energy here. I am kind of also in ancient mode. So let's just have peace and protection and light over this reading, that nothing jumps off the screen that shouldn't. All right. So because I did pick up Vampiri with her, and also she has, I believe there's hybrid numbers here as well, but we'll go deeper. Let's look at the situation first. This picture of her here that I'm looking at this on this chart that I've created here looks like a mannequin. All right, jokes aside, well, it's not really jokes. So they discover her body February 26. And on February 26, oh, look, us, oh, good. We have a 28-10-1 in the middle of the day. We're going to make the announcement on February the 26th. We found Michelle deceased. Really? Oh, look what's also here, 37-10-1. Come on, there's no higher ups that would do this in Hollywood, right? I want to draw your attention to February the 27th, unfortunately. It's a catastrophic number in this kind of situation, unfortunately. But there was issues around this passing. There was issues around the situation. We'll go deeper. February the 27th. February the 27th, we have a 29-11-2 in the day. So the 27 plus the 2 from February gives us a 29-11-2, which is a common contract number around industry-related murders, sacrifices, rituals. February 26. Okay, so if we go February 25, we've got a portal sequence, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I say let's put our ancient glasses on. We have a 27-9 in the center, day number 27-9, and we have a column of nines. On one hand, I want to say it's the worst kind, because of all of these nines. But there's a problem here. There's something else. Because February 27, so February 27, why I'm concerned, or not concerned, something went awry. The February 27, we've got a 999 out of sequence here. There's too many nines here. So we got triple nines and a 29-11-2 and a double 2. Whoa. Did she put up a fight? I'm getting a sense. Oh, it was quite scary, actually. Trying to catch her might have been a problem while she was going berserk. And in its true form is what I saw. Vampiri. Definitely Vampiri. She's definitely hybrid, eh? Let me just And by the way, there's February the 24th, so 2 days before discovery. I believe she passed on February 25. Of course, it ends with an 18-9. 18 with an outcome 9, murder. Oh, I didn't even spot this earlier. February 26th, the day of discovery. 26-8, staging, motherfuckers. There's confirmation. 26-8 is a staging. It's a staging. So I'm definitely getting... have you guys seen that movie? Quite an old movie called Jumper. And this guy, and he meets these other jumpers. They jump from wherever they want to go, right? And to catch them, you have to have this particular electric cable or whatever it is that pins them down and they can't jump, right? Well, this is what they kind of did to her, in my opinion, is what I saw. And it was quite, she's very strong, eh? Definitely hybrid. Let me just go into her numbers because I'm picking up hectic, weird energy. Not weird, but ghastly. Let me just say ghastly, dreadful, monster energy. The visuals that I had is vampiri. It looks vampiri to me. So in her date of birth, so the day before she's born, we have a 10-1 conflict. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Get it ready. 20 outcome 2. Kate Middleton, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. It's going to live. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Burst the bubble, and then, but it came from a different kind of womb, if you know what I mean. Definitely pump it action happening the day before. And there's conflict as well, huh? There's a conflict of organizations or groupings. So one can say if she is a hybrid, the 10-1 the day before would confirm that. The fact that she's born 1985, 23-5, demon as well. Possible demon activity, conjuring. Now I'm talking back in the family tree, like 2,000 years ago type thing. So the number from the year is more, I call it a foundation number, but it's also, it goes way back down the family line, if you like. There's definitely mingling that happened down there. Mingling of different ones. You see here, she has a 21-3 hidden in the day she's born. So there already confirms again, there's a conflict between who she is, what she is. 44-8 power number by design. Don't get freaked out if these are your numbers. The people that we watch on TV, movies, listen to music, it's all a puppet show with these vampiri motherfuckers. 35-8, 26-8, 17-8. So from a biology point of view, with all these 8s, that's, in many instances, people with life path 8s, for example, are here to experience what it is about biology. In many cases, what we call the human being. In her case, it's a mishmash joining of 4-4. So we got two anatomical parts joining together. Definitely hybrid. And probably why they had to get rid of her. Because when they did get her, it was a violent fucking fight. Let me say that. She almost took them out. Let's just see here. So in her intention, in her +3, on the day that she's born, there's a 15-6 present with Kate, what is she this time? She's currently a shapeshifter, another alien being. Remember, because some community members have been asking me, you have been asking, the puppets we see that came up the stairs of Wimbledon waved as if nothing ever happened in her life, didn't even have an injection. Didn't even have a chemo, walks up the stairs, smiles. In fact, she ran up the little bit of stairs, walked across, then came down, waved at everyone as if she's like, "Hi, everyone. What you going on about? I saw you just yesterday." Meanwhile, we hadn't seen Kate Middleton for 9 months, I think, at that stage, or about 7 months. Whenever Kate pops around, there's a 15-6, so a bit of forgery going on there with the human, and she's got in Michelle's case, she's got a 15-6 in the intention, so it's intended. Hidden 24-6, so it looks familiar, but in this picture it looks like a mannequin. You see, here's where the fight came from. I see. Look here, in the +6 of her date of birth, getting lots of energy coming my way from her. 89, so the God-like. So that's why, look what happens here, February the 25th. 279, conflict. This is very interesting. This confirms this feeling I'm getting. 27-9, we've spoken about this in our ancient shows, right? There's a conflict of two beings, 2-7 being, gods, 9, right? Gods, in their minds, gods. Now, right across the alley is another god, because Delatello and all those scum buckets live underground, sloth motherfuckers, alligator people, reptiles, sucking up the sewer. Oh, unit number 2 just had a shit. Let me run and go grab it. Those people. So we got conflict here. Conflict of gods. There's two. That's what I'm feeling when I'm getting there was a big takedown here. And she fought for her life like any animal would, if you want to look at it that way. But it took a few people to take her down here. It took a few people to take her down, of the like perhaps, maybe not as strong as her, so they had many strong ones, but not, there was definitely, this is a war here. There's a war, these are war numbers around here, this her passing. Maybe they didn't realize to what extent the hybrid would work, right? So that 18-9 +6 gives us a 27, hidden 27-9. You see, again, 27-9. There was a serious mingling. Yeah, I almost want to, the story about Hercules or whatever it is. He's half god, half human. I'm getting the sense here someone was chowing someone. Someone was... But this is of being and being. So this is like let's say two alien races, for example, just as an example, two alien races intermingling and Michelle's born. Good God. If I didn't complete the sentence, the people on Hollywood, they are of a different breed, so don't get offended by these numbers either. It's all a showcase for them, don't worry. 17-8 lizard, huh? 17-8 is lizard. Reptile, alien, reptile. So she's reptile, and it's reptile and vampiri mix. The day before is a 16-7. So we got a vampiri. We got a vampiri and alien mix. My God, alien and vampiri. Alien and vampiri. So there's alien vampiri. And they try to make the super god. All by design. You see it, it's confirmation. Here's the 4 plus the 4 gives us the biology of what she is. Alien and vampiri. Jesus, you'd swear these guys haven't got anything better to do. Oh, let's go down to E.T. And let's go make some baby vampiri alien mixes. Let's try that today. Bubble, 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 poop. Pops out a 44.8. 2 anatomies give us the biology. Good God. So in the 9, hidden 33. 30, 30, outcome 3. That's Hive. There's a vampiri number. 30, outcome 3 is vampiri. In her plus 9. 53.8. So there's the ghastly death. 53.8. Very physical death. Who took her out? 28. Let me go to the next day. Let's see who took her out. Who knew about who she really is and why did they take her out? Lots of energy around here. We ask for protection in the reading. I'm just going to go to February 28. Let me see. I want to see if who's involved here. 28.10.1. Sorry for the clambering on the keyboard. So 30 outcome 3, eh? Vampiris. You see, they looked smaller than her, but she's... So when she becomes who she really is, right? They were like strong vampiri versus big monster motherfucker, right? 39.12.3. God help us all, man. 12.3. People are playing games, man. 39.12. Oh, hold on. 39.12.3. CIA. You know the acronym CIA, right? CIA is Creature Intelligence, right? Creature Intelligence Agency, right? You know Men in Black? There's also CIA. CIA, ladies and gentlemen. CIA takedown. Yes, these are all CIA numbers. 39.12.3. The day of the murder, 18.9, is also CIA. 9 is CIA. I'm just trying to see. Oh, they tricked her. I just want to go to the 23rd. I'm just going to write it here. Something happened. They tricked her. 23. She was fine while I was setting up, but she's been very angry while I've been working now. 34. 34.7, 16. Yeah, see, here's vampiri numbers as well. See, similar numbers that we've seen in Joslin. 23.5, 25.7, 34.7, 16.7. Yeah. So what did they create in the labs of the Creature Intelligence Agency? What did they forge with their bottles of sperms from different creature eaters? We've seen those movies where they got these kids in bunkers and because they've been manipulating the DNA, right? I think we found one. So this 29.11.2 can also say now, this is the day after discovery, although it's a contract number as well, speaks about the joining of two nines gods, if you will, which is deemed illegal in some corners of the universe. So we've got a vampiri reptile mix here. Eh? She prefers to be vampiri. What the hell? These are CIA numbers here. They're sending a message. In more cases than not, the 2911-2 also speaks about someone else as part. There would have been someone else taken out with her. Definitely CIA numbers without a doubt present. So February 28 is technically the +3 of the day before discovery, which is February 25. What do we have on the day before? We got conflicts, portal sequences, murders, death, and more than one. Here's another confirmation number. 36-9 is more than one as well. 3 parts. I don't believe she was made of 3 parts. Vampire, reptile. No, it's 2 parts. But there's a community of her. That 369 is actually, so 3 communities, 6, let's call them humans, but they're actually 9s. If we truly knew their full potential, we wouldn't call them humans. She just like tried to demonstrate that to me. So the +3 of the day before, where there's definitely a murder, is filled with CIA creature intelligence agency numbers, and they are sending a message to the hidden 30 outcome 3. So one can argue it's part of the Burning Hills campaign. It's part of the burning out of the vampiri hives, 30 outcome 3, sending a message to the vampiris. Wow. Imagine a hybrid alien plus vampire. What the fuck would you get out of that? My God. What is this world? You see, all the stage is but a stage. Talking about stages, let's look at the Blue Wonder astronauts. So I see Jeff Bezos' girlfriend or fiance, Miss Sanchez, also went up, allegedly. Katy Perry, still the satanic doll she is. Oh, you know what? Whenever I don't do much content around Katy Perry. In fact, I've never done any Katy Perry. But the thing is, whenever I see her, I've seen her glitch videos and her glitching moments and her fall short of this and that. And each to their own, everyone makes their choice. But whenever I see her and there's content around her, I always recall that she grew up as a gospel singer. So we got Oprah's friend is there, Gail. And we got some other notable attendees. So let's see what happened. I suppose Gail is up for anything being with the show she's on. That's full Illuminati dressing, that one. I'm talking about is it that morning show or she has a show or something? Anyway, all Illuminati motherfuckers. So we got a 17-8. Okay, so the intention is they're going to space. Okay. The intention is they're going to space. But something's wrong. We got a 21-3 in play. There's a problem already. 30 outcome 3 alien. 21-3. So the intention 30 outcome 3. Now, if you've been, I've just been downloaded, reminded. If you real time and you've been watching the hurricane episodes we did, when was it, last year? These are the numbers that we saw in those hurricanes. And these numbers here, ironically, also ping on. Even in the +3, so the launch +3, and we'll get to the nitty-gritty now. But the +3 is very interesting because these are SpaceX numbers. That's very interesting. Why would SpaceX be here? All right, let's not get too number heavy. So on the day starts with a 14.5. So on the general, one can say, oh, the day might start with some difficulties. By the way, the day before there was conflict, 4-4 conflict. So why would there be a 4-4 conflict? And they take off on a portal sequence as well. There's something behind this launch. Look this way, guys. Watch Blue Origin while SpaceX is doing something, right? Something. I'm gonna go number. I can feel something. It is bullshit. Let's not joke. But I'll find supporting evidence for the bullshit. When I looked at the numbers, I did find it then, but let's do it again. I must find it again. 24.6, so looks familiar. 24.6 looks familiar. Looks familiar. So this is in the +6 now. Oh shit. 33.6. Okay, hold on. Something went down here. Something happened here. So we got all these high-profile celebrities that went up, supposedly, right? 33.6. So in fairness, in the +6, not to... If we look at rocket launches and propulsion and launch, right, we are looking at numbers with the 6s. So this is action, but because there's a 33.6 here, 2 vessels, however they did it, 2 vessels went up, or whatever. There's 2 of something. So I watched some of the launch, I didn't watch all of the, when they arrived. I saw a little bit Jeff going there with his wrench. It's a real mechanical thing, the spacecraft. Let me bring a wrench. It's a very sophisticated piece of technology, that wrench. Had to get rid of the wrench, did he? There's two something happened here. Now, while we're looking here, something else might have launched somewhere else. Just saying. There's suggestion that it's a very strong possibility. We will try and get to the bottom of this, because something's off here, apart from the obvious. There's something being hidden. Of course, there would be a portal sequence here. 36. These are very strange numbers. This is almost too perfect. This is almost too perfect. It's too perfect. Didn't it come across as too perfect? Where are they hiding? Where are they hiding? So, all right, let's go back to the actual day. April 14, 2025. We always got to see what is the conflict. So we've got 9-9 conflict here. Replacements. Okay, it's your turn. You're going to come to Earth for whatever fuck light years. Because 33.6. Something lifted off the day before, I think. if we go April 13, there's replacements. So these, are we saying these women were replaced? Is that what you're telling me? Yes, they've been replaced. What are we dealing with here? Something, so apart from the obvious, there's something more here. So the day before, we've got a 4+4 conflict. So if we go anatomical, that's a body-body conflict. (17, 8, 9), 26, 8, 17, 8, 8. So the day before, April 13, in the +3, we have a 29, 12, 3. Hidden 20, outcome 2. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with big shit here. So as much as this was a farce, which it definitely was, 14-5 started today, bullshit coming your way, stand by, and 5, launch in 3, 2, whatever that was. Kubrick has just popped on my right-hand side, so someone directed a nice bit of piece here for us. So there's the 20 outcome 2. Now, if you watch those hurricane episodes, they are you'll find them in the playlist profile by numbers. 20 outcome 2 is present here, which is the other world, the water world. Oh, so while we were looking up, something went down. That's what happened. Water, ladies and gentlemen. Something went in the water. On April the 13th, I would imagine dark time, something went into the water. And this what we know as the launch was pre-recorded some other time, probably 2 days before, certain aspects of it, right? I mean, I actually try to look at the interior of them in space. And because I'm technically I'm an internationally accredited video editor, I'm just saying. But I've got this habit. Whenever I suspect green screen or even films where we know there's video effects and all this kind of thing, right? I play a game with myself. I always say, what color chroma did they use on the shoot? Was it blue or was it green? Because, like, I would refer to myself as a frame editor. I will see a blemish in a frame, even though it's running at whatever, 25 frames a second, 30 frames a second, whatever. My opinion, when I looked inside the capsule while they're all doing their selfies and stupid stuff, I suspected, and I will put my $100 down and say, the color of the chroma green screen was blue. The color of the chromo, let me rephrase that, because I always say chroma green. We always just shoot chroma green, fucking 200 episodes one year, just chroma, and it was chroma in my brain, right? And I used to edit chroma videos, right? In my opinion, the color blue was the chroma color in this case for that beautiful interior capsule shoot. Something went down while we were looking up, or something went down the night before when we were all thought we were looking up. Water. There's lots of water numbers around, and so let me just see. It's definitely a big hoax show. And when I saw inside the capsule, it's blue edges. Of course, they would use blue because they're wearing blue uniforms, and the space is blue. The planet is blue, so everything's blue. They won't see the chroma outline, right? The what we call the edge. But be that as it may, as fake as it all is, there was a swapping of sorts. And the swapping, so in the +3, one can argue we see a 30 outcome 3, which is woman, right? Like a group of women, right? One can say 30 outcome 3 is a collective of female energy, a lot of female energy. But why would there be a hidden 21-3? So which woman? So on one hand, a group of women were suppressed, and on the other hand, another group of women were, let's say, liberated, freed. So what the fuck was going on here? This would require further investigation. I believe it's more than just the fake Stanley Kubrick directed Blue Origin flight. There's something else going on that also actually involves SpaceX, motherfuckers, and large volumes of water. If I have the opportunity, if it pings on me, if I get any additional information on the Blue Origin, I will share it. But it's more than just this PR bullshit. I believe what you see here were also there's something was replaced here. Women were replaced. Women were suppressed. Something. Oh, honey, guess what I bought you for Valentine's this year? Oh, what did you get, darling? I got you a space trip in Blue Origin. No. Oh, it's only me going up. Are you, babes? Are you sure? Yes, go, my dear. Thank God we sorted that problem out. It's never returned again, right? Imagine that for a minute. You set your wife up for a lovely gift. Oh, and even the wife of the owner, baby, oh. And I don't think it was exactly what they expected. But be that as it may, if you want to be on the celebrity list and you want to do whatever and, you sign contracts, good for you. Thank God I never wanted to be a celebrity. To be quite honest, and I'm certainly no celebrity whatsoever. The fact that I'm even on YouTube is strange, okay? Because although I deal with high-end things, I don't like the publicity. That's just part of me. I'm not here for Goomba candy floss motherfuckers. All right, Karen Reed trial. Let me put an ident here so we know we're changing stories. So there's something more about this Blue Origin, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just... So everyone got replacements. It keeps coming, replacements. There's SpaceX numbers here as well. Water numbers. Oh, we waited so long on planet whatever. Now it's 400 years later, and now we can come and enjoy some of the smog and fog of California. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to Karen Reed. I meant that as a light passing. I don't know where it came from. Oh, we don't want to live in the core anymore, so we're going to come to the surface for 20 years. Or however long each one respective has, right? Karen, 25. Oh, the same number. Look at all these conflicts in these same episodes. 25-7. What do we say when the court proceedings start with the 25-7, as in the Joselyn Smith case? Who's fooling who? Police people. We all know it was the police people that killed him. The carpet was taken out, the dog was sold, or whatever. Oh, we were moving anyway. Okay. Look at all these police numbers here. All illegal people involved here. It's all bullshit. 20, outcome 2. 11 to 2. So this is the intention of the court case. Let's start. So we've got similar numbers that we see in the Joslin case here. Now, of course, Karen's case has been changing. So now this is technically trial 2, trial 2. There's a conflict of evidence here. So the theory of the defense, right? The theory of the defense saying that no one found Karen guilty of homicide can be related to this 4 plus 22, 4 conflict, in that 4 speaks about evidence, right? And when you got 22, 4 is mass evidence. So you got, let's say, the truth, 4, because 4 is also about the truth, 4. And then you got the agenda, 22, 4. So the case is about the truth, which we know what is the truth. He was murdered because of the sextortion, abduction, molestation, rape of young children in that police camp, where all these kids that got disgusting parents to start off with, come to our police farm and we will look after you. You motherfuckers. So 26.8, this is all bullshit. 26.8, bullshit. I'm still of the opinion, in one of my earlier readings, and I felt it when I was drawing these days out, that there's still going to be a lesser sentence. I almost want to say they're going to reduce the type of sentence. But certainly there's bullshit in the air here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's look in the +6. So what is going to happen what's going to happen actually during the trial? So they're sending a message out, 28. These are very similar to Jocelyn's, 28, 10, 1. And of course the vampiri alien mixed case as well. 32, 32.5. This is going to get thrown out possibly. Something's wrong here. Something's going to disturb the case, I think. 14.5, all the court proceedings. Stand by. Let's see if we get more information. 41. See, 41.5, they're tampering with evidence here as well. 23.5 for the Brotherhood, the Blue Brotherhood. We must think of them Blue Brotherhoods, even though they're 14.5 pedophile motherfuckers. Destroying damaged kids. The kids come to if you're not aware of the case, because there have been a lot of new subscribers, and blessings and welcome. If the Karen Reed case, if you're not familiar, allegedly, and I believe it is obviously the case, that there were certain policemen who were traumatizing children in a safe space camp, if you will. And of course, one of them fell pregnant. And so the cover-up began. 31.4. Oof, 31.4 conflict, 22.4. So 31.4 and 4 conflict speaks about, because we talk about the evidence, the physical evidence on John, beg your pardon. So there's a conflict actually with the physical evidence here. So in other words, we can say the physical evidence doesn't match the prosecutor's theory, let's say, for argument's sake. I mean, it's such a farce. And the 32.5, remember, if you recall the Car and Reed cases, a lot of presence of the 32.5, which is breaking up of that brotherhood. We can't pedophile these kids anymore. We've been caught. So we have to disband them for 6 months or a few years, and then we'll get going again, right? Because the outcome is still 14.5, motherfuckers. Okay, let me just see here. I'm getting carried away. 41. So which one is wrong here? So that's 41. Because there's a 31 4-year gain. This one's wrong. So it's a 35.8. 35.8. So 35.8. So the true outcome of this case at the start, 35.8. So it's all hinged on physical evidence here. It's about the body. It's obvious on his body that this is all bullshit, is what I'm picking up here. 40. So we got a 40. Ooh, you see, 44.8. This has been planned and set up. Here's the evidence cover up. There's cover up on day 117.8, and of course we'll have it in the +9. This is all a cover up, man. So let me just see if I get a sense of outcome. Shit, the +9 is not really. So technically we would still have a hidden 35.8. Okay, so the good news is I'm not seeing arrest numbers. They're going to bring this down, lesser charge. That's what I'm getting now. So the number for arrest, ironically, is also 12.3. And we don't have a 12.3 on these 4 blocks. So immediately, so maybe this is the reason why it will get reduced, right? Is because there's a conflict with the evidence. On day 1, we sang, like I said, truth versus evidence. But in the +9, it's the truth versus the body. So we've definitely got conflict of interest. So yeah, it's in her favor, right? So there's a conflict with evidence. If I was the defense team, if I was Karen's defense team, focus on the physical evidence and the physical body of John, and they should win their case that way. And in the +6, this is all about them. All these 14.5s, 32.5s, 23.5s, 14.5s is about the brotherhood. Saving face. Saving face. This trial is a farce. Karen's team should focus on the evidence, physical evidence. And by the way, there's evidence that's been that no one knows about as well, by the way. Not to say no one knows about the evidence. It's been kept away that would more than likely probably clear Karen Reed immediately, right? Dumb motherfuckers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring us down a little bit. We went up into space, down into water. We came across a vampire mix, alien lizard mix hybrid, and our angel from Saldanha Bay, who is Joselyn Smith. We will see the outcome of that case. And so I'm knee deep at the moment with the work in the film. It's going well now. We had a few technical hurdles to get over, but we are full steam ahead, pumping, as it were. And please enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your evening, and may you be blessed wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.